everyone. Glad to see everyone here. Actually, there's a budget session happening today at the Parliament House. And then I had to make a choice whether I need to go listen to the Finance Minister for the budget session or be here. And then I didn't think twice. I honestly thought my time here would be much more well spent than listening to the budget at the Parliament House. Because I believe that you all are the VVIPs of the country. The young people, the youth of Nepal are the VVIPs of the country because you shoulder the responsibility of building a prosperous and peaceful Nepal. So without second thought, I'm here. And I feel that even amongst all of you, if I can just convince a few of you to start up your own businesses, become job creators, I think this time that I've given here would be worthwhile. Also, my son is among the audience today. He's here on his vacations, and I want to show off a little bit because he thinks that I'm more British than him, and I never talk sense. So I think today I'll try and talk a little more sensible, which I do very less of the time. So I'll try and be a little bit more sensible. Nisha called me and asked me if I had any PowerPoint presentation. Don't worry, I don't have any PowerPoint presentation. It's going to be a very informal discussion. And I've stopped giving PowerPoint presentations because the last time I gave a PowerPoint presentation, someone came up to me and said, "Sir, there was no power and there was no point to your presentation." So since then, I've given a PowerPoint presentation. So I think in my talk today, I want to cover 5 key aspects. 5 key important aspects that I've learned in my journey at work over the last 18 years in Nepal. So first thing I'd like to start a little bit about myself. I did my schooling in Darjeeling में पढ़ाई थी, Darjeeling में 10 क्लास सम्म पढाइ सकाएँ। र Darjeeling में पढाइ सकेपछि कहाँ पढ्न जाने भनेपछि सबैले बेंगलोर जाने भन्थे। Why? बेंगलोर सबभन्दा रमाइलो ठाउँ। कहीँ पनि पबहरू थिएन, बेंगलोरमा पबहरू हुन्थ्यो। The weather was perfect. So त्यहाँ चाहिँ एकदमै रमाइलो हुन्छ भनेर that was the criteria and we went to Bangalore. So as per the choice I made, go to Bangalore, not to study, but actually it's a nice place, you can party, there are a lot of pubs. So I did my industrial engineering and management, I completed at +2 and industrial engineering and management from Bangalore. र त्यहाँबाट पढाइ भइसकेपछि कस्तो थियो भने त्यो बेला 4 वर्षको इन्जिनियरिङ कोर्स भएको थियो. I completed in 5 years. Don't ask how. And then the pass marks used to be 35. So for the first 4 semesters, I'm going to say 4 years, 8 semesters. So for the first 6 semesters, it didn't matter what you got your score. Only the last 2 semesters, 7th and 8th average used to be on the certificate which you get. So the final year average only used to be there. So for the first 6 semesters, very strategically, पढेन मैले 35 पास मार्क हुनु पर्थ्यो. एक रात अगाडि साथीहरूको किताब छोडेर ठ्याक्क पढ्थेँ, 35 आउँथ्यो, कहिले काहीँ त्यो पनि आउँदैन थियो. त्यसैले 5 वर्ष लाग्यो. र तर लास्ट 2 सेमेस्टर चाहिँ एकदम मेहनत गरेर पढेँ. र if you come to my office now, there's a degree which proudly states Saurabh Jyoti passed with first class in industrial management, industrial engineering and management. So last 2 semesters I did study. And I got I passed with first class. Another degree in industrial engineering and management role. But I passed out with 3 degrees. I didn't just get an IEM degree. I also got a PhD and an IAS degree. So now I'm PhD, IAS, IEM. PhD, IAS stands for passed with high difficulty in all subjects. And then IEM is of course industrial engineering and management. The first point I want to stress on is that I'm not undermining the importance of education. Education is very important. But just to put in context, 30 years back and now. 30 years back, what used to happen in Nepal, 30, 40 years back? there used to be a handful of engineers, few PhD graduates, few MBA graduates. Oh, MBA, PhD, Dr. Saab. Oh, the engineer Saab. So based on your education, your career, your opportunities used to be there. But now, how many engineers do you know? Not even count. There are hundreds of thousands of engineers. How many PhD graduates? How many doctors? There are many. So, the academic degree alone cannot set you apart. The academics alone cannot put you on a trajectory for growth or being different in the market and being successful. So, you work on पढाइ is important. पढाइ हुनै पर्छ. That is the foundation for everything. If you don't have a good foundation, you cannot build any floors on top of it, and you want to build a skyscraper, of course. So, पढाइ is the foundation. So, there is a very important aspect of soft skills. Along with your hard skills, which is your education, soft skills is extremely important. I'm not a person who is very strong in hard skills. I was not a very good student. I think my son and my wife who's working with me do much better. But what I feel is my forte is that I can communicate well with people. I can convey my vision, my mission of my company to the thousands of employees that I have. And I can draw them to the objectives and visions of the company by which, because everyone is working towards their vision and objectives, then you can accomplish your goals. So that is very important, because when you lead in any sector, you are one head and two hands. एउटा टाउको दुईटा हात त छ, कति नै काम गर्न सक्छ एउटा टाउको र दुईटा हातले, तर तपाईको तल हजारौं टाउको लाखौं हातहरु सक्छ। त्यो सबैलाई टिम एफर्टको थ्रु तपाईले राम्रोसँग आफ्नो उद्देश्य तपाईले बुझाउन सक्नु भयो भने त्यो कलेक्टिभ एफर्टले यु क्यान मेक अ बिग इम्प्याक्ट। I had an accident and I broke my leg. एक वर्ष भयो। So खुट्टा नराम्रोसँगै भाँचिएको थियो। Operation दुईटा गर्नु पर्यो because the bone was really almost half an inch off. So the doctor cut my foot open, put in 2 screws. After 4 months, another operation, took the screws out. And in the process, alikata मेरो चाहिँ recovery हुँदा back is a problem, and I have sciatica, which is a very painful. It's a disease. The nerve is, your back is pinching on your nerve, and your left leg, you can't sometimes move. So I went to a doctor. She's a very renowned and a knowledgeable doctor and a very famous doctor in Nepal. I won't mention her name, otherwise she'll kill me. So I went to her, and she's one of those doctors, very meticulous, very detailed, and she does a thorough study, and she wrote a lot of things for my treatment, including physio and a lot of things. And in bold letters, she wrote, "No motorcycle." मलाई no motorcycle त्यहाँ लेखेपछि फेरि this doctor, who is a dear friend of mine, unlike other doctors, her handwriting is very good. अरू डक्टरले जे लेखे पनि के पढेको थाहै हुँदैन थियो। उसको त एकदम राम्रो handwriting, no motorcycle भनेर बोल्ड लेखेको छ। अब मलाई सहनु भएन, मोटरसाइकल नचलाइकन त कसरी हुन्छ? I need to ride motorcycles. That's something that's really important to me. That's a part of my life. That's something that's like meditation for me. So what I did was that I took the prescription. I argued with her a lot, but she said, "No, this is very bad for your back, no motorcycles." So 3 months later, I went to her, but within that 3 months, I went for physio. I did sotai, I did acupuncture every day, even if it was, I was going to bed at 12 or 1 at night, I used to do my physio without missing a single day. And I went to her after 3 months, and I showed her my progress, and then she agreed that I could start riding motorcycles. It's besides the point that I sent her a lot of ice cream, Baskin-Robbins ice cream. So I don't know whether I actually convinced her with my hard work, persuasion, or good communication, or the ice cream, but I'd like to think it's the latter. And now I can ride motorcycles again. Of course, I have to be careful. But the point is, when you need to get something done, केही काम तपाईले गर्नु पर्यो भने गराउनु पर्यो, एक्लै त गर्न गाह्रै हुन्छ। एउटा चाहिँ जहिले पनि हामी टिम एफर्टको कुरा आउँछ, कलेक्टिभ एफर्टको कुरा गर्छ।
गर्दा चाहिँ तपाईले धेरै मेहनत केमा गर्नुपर्छ भने एउटा चाहिँ तपाईले एउटा त तपाईको क्ल्यारिटी हुनु पर्यो, तपाईको भिजन के हो, मिसन के हो, तपाईको उद्देश्य के हो, र त्यसमा चाहिँ सबै साथीभाइहरू आफ्नो टिम साथीभाइ कर्मचारीहरूलाई तपाईले चाहिँ त्यो राम्रो प्रकारले कम्युनिकेट गरेर तपाईलाई त्यो कन्भिक्सन र मोटिभेसन ल्याएर अगाडि बढाउन सक्यो भने तपाईको उद्देश्य चाहिँ तपाईले हासिल गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. सो आई थिंक सफ्ट स्किल्स इज अ भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट एस्पेक्ट. एन्ड nowadays soft skills is something that you can easily learn. There are so many courses for public speaking. There's so many courses how to improve how you deal with people. And soft skills is not just about communication, but actually having good human relations. Because nowadays we are very materialistic. We care more about materialistic things than actually talking to each other, understanding each other, building relations with each other. Even with family, friends, also in your workplace, which is, I feel, मेरो सबै कम्पनीजमा सबै कर्मचारीहरू they are part of my extended family. So it is very important you communicate with them one to one, understand their issues, be real with them, talk about your issues and how you want to take things forward. So soft skills is very important, number one. Dosro, I want to talk about उद्यमशीलता. We call entrepreneurship. मेरो साथी एकजना न्यू रोडमा बस्छ. He stays in Ranjana Gully and he bought a CRV from me a few years back. So he's a successful entrepreneur and he had to go for a course to Boston. He was doing an MIT course and he had to go there. So he went to a bank and he said that, I need a loan for 10 lakhs. And when you go to a bank only gives you money if you prove to the bank that you don't need money, right? If you actually need money, you don't get money from a bank. So bank ले भन्यो, ठीक छ, तपाईलाई 10 लाख चाहिएको छ, तपाईले के छिटो राख्नुपर्छ, कोल्याटरल बिना त कहाँ लोन पाउनुहुन्छ तपाईले. They said that, yeah, I have a CRV, it's worth around 1 करोडको गाडी हो, यो हुन्छ भन्दा के 10 लाखको लागि 1 करोडको गाडी कोल्याटरल भए त भइहाल्छ नि. ल तपाईलाई 10 लाखको लोन म 1 वर्षको लागि दिउँला, त्यसमा तपाईलाई 10% इन्ट्रेस्ट लाग्छ भन्यो. यो हुन्छ भनेर भयो. अब 10 लाख पनि 10 लाखको 1% इन्ट्रेस्ट गर्दा तपाईको 1 लाख दिनु पर्यो. 1 वर्षपछि उ फर्किन्छ, सीआरबी छोडेर जान्छ ब्याङ्कमा सबै. 1 लाख पछि आउँछ. 1 वर्षपछि आएर उसले आफ्नो ऋण तिर्छ. 10 लाख साउँ, 1 लाख ब्याज, 11 लाख र तिरेर आफ्नो गाडी लिएर जान्छ. र जाने बेलामा ब्याङ्क म्यानेजर इज अ लिटल इन्क्विजिटिभ एन्ड ही आस्क्स, तपाईँ यति सफल उद्यमी, तपाईँले किन 10 लाखको मात्रै लोन लिनुभएको, त्यो पनि चुक्ता गर्नुभयो. उसले भन्छ, हो मेरो एउटा चाहिँ कोर्स थियो एमआइटीमा, म बाहिर जानु थियो 1 वर्ष. अब म रञ्जना गल्लीमा मेरो घर छ, त्यहाँ गाडी राख्ने पार्किङ पनि ठाउँ छैन, सुरक्षित पनि छैन. मैले विशाल बजारको पार्किङ चलाइरहेको थिएँ. विशाल बजारमा मैले 1 वर्ष पार्किङ गर्दा मलाई 3 लाख भाडा लाग्थ्यो त्यहाँ पार्किङ चार्ज. अब तपाईँ कहाँ मैले छोडेर गएँ, तपाईले गाडी सुरक्षित पनि राख्नुभयो, 1 लाख मात्रै लिनुभयो, मेरो त 2 लाख पनि बच्यो, गाडी पनि सुरक्षित भयो, धन्यवाद भनेर हिँड्यो. So that's the mindset of an entrepreneur. He sees an opportunity. He creates opportunities where others don't see it. He fills that gap in the market. So you have to think out of the box. And why entrepreneurship is extremely essential in Nepal. र तपाईले नेपालको इतिहासै हेर्नु, हामी 10 वर्षको द्वन्द्व कालमा गयौँ. We had a civil war. किन भयो? Why did we get into a civil war? द्वन्द्व काल किन भयो? Have you thought about why we went into a civil war? द्वन्द्व काल किन भयो? त्यत्रो मान्छे मर्यो, त्यत्रो नोक्सान भयो. एउटै मात्रै कारण छ त्यसको. युवा बेरोजगारी, youth unemployment or underemployment. That is the single most reason a lot of countries around the world get into a civil war. Because the young people are restless, they are not getting into constructive activities because there's no opportunities for them. There's unemployment, underemployment, wealth generation gone, business opportunities, environment, and that creates a lot of turmoil. So even now, हामीले युवा बेरोजगारी, युथ अनइम्प्लोयमेन्ट र अन्डरइम्प्लोयमेन्टको इस्युलाई ट्याकल गरेन भने फेरि हामी द्वन्द्वकालमा जान देर छैन. This is a universal truth. So we have to create employment for young people. And how do we create employment? It's all up to all of us. We have to be job creators. We are always, there's nothing wrong in doing a job. But we have to move on from becoming job seekers to job creators. If you're working in a bank, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, that's fine. But when you're working as a professional, you are employed, one person. If you can create a job, एउटा यस्तो वातावरण तपाईँले सृजना गर्यो, तपाईँले उद्योगशीलता गर्यो, तपाईँले आफ्नो कम्पनी एउटा बनाउनु भयो, केही आफ्नो गाउँमा, टोलमा, आफ्नो सहरमा भयो भने तपाईँ एकजनाले आफ्नो गाउँको, आफ्नो टोलको दसौँ सयौँजनालाई रोजगारी सृजना दिने अवसर तपाईँले बनाउन सक्नुहुन्छ. र त्यो रोजगारी सृजना हुनसाथ एउटा चाहिँ देशको विकास हो, समाजको, देशको विकास हो. त्योतिर हामीले कुरा गर्नु पर्यो. र त्यति मात्रै होइन, नेपालको जनसङ्ख्यामा almost over 29 million people, over 50% are young people. So I think the youth are going to run this country. The youth are the backbone. They're going to drive the country towards prosperity. But we have to look at becoming job creators rather than job seekers. त्यति मात्रै होइन, हामीले आफ्नो काम गर्ने तौर तरिका पनि अलिकति हामीले विचार गर्नुपर्छ. किनभने when we start working, of course, a company needs to be profitable. Profits is not a dirty word. Profit भएन भने company चल्दैन. तर अहिले company चलाउने विभिन्न तरिकाहरू छन्. Profit is not the single sole purpose. If you work hard towards your goal, you have a clear vision, you align all your actions towards your goals and work consistently, you will achieve your goals. And profit भने एउटा बाई प्रडक्ट हो. तर त्यो प्रफिटबाट तपाईँले के पनि सोच्नु पर्यो भने नाफा मात्रै कमाउने होइन. You should be a company that the society wants that company, your company, to exist. You have to have inclusive growth. When I say inclusive growth, you need to plow back or reinvest into, of course, your employees, your society, towards the society at large, and then your company will grow. Imagine a situation, of course, our GDP has been quite significantly high over the last few years, 7.5% GDP growth. Nepal opportunity छैन भन्छ, तर 7.5% GDP growth is phenomenal. Nepal is the third fastest growing economy as per the World Bank study of last June. Third fastest growing after Ethiopia and Uzbekistan. I think Ethiopia was around 8.3, Uzbekistan was around 7.8, we are 7.5, and below us is India at around 6.7. So that's significant. Opportunity छैन भन्ने छ, and we are one of the fastest growing economies. So in this economy, we're talking about inclusive growth. That aspect of growing together needs to come, because if मध्यम वर्गको पर्चेसिङ क्यापेसिटी छैन भने मैले स्टिल बेच्छु. ज्योति समूह अन्तर्गत we are into manufacturing, trading and services. Among the industries, we sell steel, we sell wires, we sell medical oxygen. Trading, we sell a lot of motorcycles, cars, tractors. We provide a lot of services. तर यो सबै उत्पादन र सेवाहरू मध्यम वर्गको पहुँच बाहिर छ. डिस्पोजेबल इन्कमै छैन भने कसले तपाईँको उत्पादन र सेवा किन्छ? Your company will die because you don't have a market for it. People don't have the purchasing capacity to buy your products and services. So unless your company works together for inclusive growth, your company will die. There has to be collective, total, inclusive growth. That is the logic, clear and simple. अर्को कुरा इन्क्लुसिभमा भन्दा again coming back to statistics, Nepal's population 29 million, 50.49% of the population are women. So when I say youth, majority are women. And I personally believe women are much more professional, much more hardworking, very loyal. It's a different thing that they have to work twice as hard to be thought half as good. And they still seem to do it with ease in wearing 6-inch heels. But this is something that, I'm not being a feminist. You say feminism, women's rights, but statistics alone, by excluding 51% of the population, how can you dream of growth, economic progress, prosperity? आधा बढी population छुटाएर तपाईले कसरी विकास हुन्छ? हुँदै हुँदैन. So it's not a choice. You have to get women on board, get them working. For me, most of my time, actually, professionally, if you see, I'm only in office 50% of the time. The rest of the 50% of the time, I am out. I'm working with various organizations like Nepal Automobile Dealer Association, Nepal Automobile Month. विभिन्न अरू संस्थामा म धेरै आबद्ध भएकोमा धेरै म टाइम पनि समय दिन्छु because I think it is important for lobbying policies, working towards private sector development. But having said that, 50% of the time I'm outside my office, and occasionally when I do drop into my office, my staff are very happy. And they come and pat me on the back, sir, you're doing a great job. Which I know means that, sir, stay out of business, stay out of our faces. Business is doing well, profits are going up, we are happy working, your wife is doing a great job, she works with me. So my wife works with me. She's taking care of the business. My sister-in-law is working in business, my mom's working. So I think, and we try and make a conscious effort to include more and more women, girls into our workforce so that we can have inclusive growth. So that is very, very important aspect. So when I say inclusive growth, as I said, young people working together, including women, working towards upliftment of society and nation at large. So that is very important in entrepreneurship development. And as you go towards the future, women are becoming more and more empowered, more educated. So I think that is a phenomenon, and I think in the next 10 years, women will be ruling. So for all the facts that I've just stated, I declare myself a feminist because it's always wise to be on the winning side. Sorry guys. That's very dear to my heart is made in Nepal. I can't see all of you all properly, but out of all almost 70 people seated here, can I have a show of hands for all the people in this room that are currently wearing, using something that is made in Nepal? That's more than usually, that's higher than normally people. So okay, still 10% max. 10% भन्दा कम होला. अब रामबहादुर भन्ने एकजना नेपाली छ, साधारण नेपाली व्यक्ति हो रामबहादुर. बिहान उठ्छ, अलार्म क्लक बजेर उठ्छ, अलार्म क्लक निभाउँछ. Alarm clock is made in China. Then he goes sleepily into the kitchen, pours himself, makes himself a cup of tea. The tea is made in Sri Lanka. Then he goes, puts on a pair of Levi's jeans, puts on a shirt which is made in Bangladesh, and goes right to his motorcycle, Honda Navanu. अर्को मोटरसाइकल चलाएर जुन चाहिँ इन्डियामा बनेको छ गएर दिनभरि कामको लागि खोज्न जान्छ र राति थकित भएर फर्किन्छ ऊ. He gets on his couch which is made in China, puts on a pair of Brazilian slippers, pours himself a glass of French wine, puts on a TV which is made in Malaysia, and then he wonders why he can't find himself a good paying job in Nepal. So that is the reality. हाम्रो माइन्डसेटमा केही सामान उत्पादन किन्दा we want branded. Or we want even a Chinese brand, Chinbao, Sinbao, where we don't even know the name, but we buy Chinese products. तर consciously हामीले चाहिँ एफर्टै छैन कि हामीले चाहिँ एउटा नेपाली प्रडक्ट, नेपाली उत्पादन र सेवा किनौँ. So I think that whole mindset needs to be changed. Because नेपाली उत्पादन र सेवा, नेपालमा उद्योग व्यवसायहरूको विकास हुन, largest consumers हामी नेपालीहरू नै हौँ. र हाम्रै प्रायोरिटीमा त्यो कन्सियसली, स्पेसली द यङ पिपल एफर्टै गरेनौँ भने यहाँ उद्योग व्यवसायको विकास कसरी हुन्छ? तपाईहरुले पनि उद्यमीहरू भइसकेपछि तपाईको के उत्पादन बनाउनुहुन्छ, सेवा बनाउनुहुन्छ र पुरा नेपालमा कसैले तपाईको उत्पादन सेवा कदरै गर्दैन, किन्न प्रयास पनि गर्दैन भने त्यो माइन्डसेटै छैन भने तपाई सफल हुन सक्नुहुन्छ? हुँदैन. त्यसैले being the largest consumers, that conscious effort has to come. So that is why we started Made in Nepal campaign. Be Nepali, buy Nepali भन्छौँ. या हामीले Made in Nepal आफ्नो हुने आफ्नै हो भनेर हामीले 10औं वर्ष अगाडिदेखि यो क्याम्पेन चलाइरहेको. हरेक वर्ष मेला गर्थ्यौँ. त्यसै गरिकन विभिन्न देश विदेशमा गएर पनि नेपाली उत्पादन र सेवाहरूको हामी प्रडक्टहरू हामी शोकेस गर्थ्यौँ. त्यो उद्देश्यले. किनभने त्यो माइन्डसेट चेन्ज नआएसम्म, बिकज स्केल अफ इकोनोमीको पनि कुरा हुन्छ. तपाईले के उत्पादन बनायो, अहिले त धेरै नेपाली ब्रान्डहरू छन्. You talk about YY, you talk about Gold Star, you talk about IT companies, you talk about banking services, which are almost world class. छन्, तर सीमित छन् अझै पनि. सीमित कम्पनीहरू छन्. त्यो सबै हामीले चाहिँ नेपालमै एउटा चाहिँ चिनो बनाउनु र एउटा नेपालमा मात्रै माग हैन, ग्लोबली पनि जानु. We need to start with Nepal, and that conscious effort has to come from all of us. सम्भावना धेरै छन्, तर यो माइन्डसेटकै चेन्जमा एउटा अर्को इक्जाम्पल म के दिन चाहन्छु भने यो मेड इन नेपालकै क्याम्पेन हुँदा चाहिँ हाम्रो एउटा ब्रेनस्टर्मिङ भइरहेको थियो. र त्यो ब्रेनस्टर्मिङ भइरहेको बेलामा यो हाम्रो मोडरेटर अनिल चित्रकार दाइ हुनुहुन्थ्यो. He used to really help us do a lot of these brainstorming and workshops. I'm sure most of you all know him. So we were talking about agriculture and the potential of agriculture and strawberries. If you realize, 10 वर्ष अगाडिसम्म नेपालमा राम्रो स्ट्रबेरी हुँदैन थियो. We had to import strawberries. Then Japanese came in, and with the Japanese technology, biotech, we started developing, growing, farming strawberries. And now you have excellent strawberries, world-class strawberries in Nepal. Really good. Have you realized that? पहिला स्ट्रबेरी भने पाउँदै पाउँदैन थियो नेपाल. अहिले धेरै राम्रो क्वालिटीको स्ट्रबेरी बनाउँछ. So the discussion was that a lot of flights are coming in empty during दशैं तिहारमा चाहिँ सबै हाम्रो विदेशमा काम गर्ने सबै दिदीभाइ दाजुबहिनीहरू आउँथ्यो. So when they go back, when the दशैं flights used to come, the flights used to go back empty because दशैंमा सबै घर आउँथ्यो. र त्यो फ्लाइटहरुमा किन एम्प्टी पठाउने? त्यो फ्लाइट्सहरुमा चाहिँ why don't we export our strawberries to the Gulf and Dubai? So my thought was, I had to answer something. So my thought immediately that came to my mind was, I told Anil, it's a really good idea, but it's a really bad idea. Why do we want to make the sheikhs of Dubai even richer? Because we'll export the strawberries to them. The sheikhs, they are very clever. They'll wash it, they'll sort it according to the size, they'll process it, they'll package it properly, and then export it back to Nepal. र सुरजले त्यही स्ट्रबेरी खाएर 100 रुपैयाँको स्ट्रबेरी जुन एक्सपोर्ट खाएको थियो, सुरजले 300 रुपैयाँमा किनेर खाएर भन्छ कि ओ खाए तिमीले त्यो स्ट्रबेरी, मेड इन दुबई स्ट्रबेरी, क्या मिठो यार. So where is the value addition? So that is a reality. This is happening in the agri sector. We export a lot of cardamom. Our farmers export a lot of cardamom. It is one of the highest exported spices. We export it to traders in India. They take the cardamom, they wash it, sort it, process it, package it, and if we are selling at 100, they resell after packaging and branding at 3x, 4x, 400, 500 rupees. So where is the value addition? That is a huge opportunity loss for us. So the value addition factor, we need to look into it. I'm just giving you an example. This applies in a lot of other sectors. So that is a huge opportunity loss and a change in mindset. So that is when Made in Nepal came. And even till date, Made in Nepal को विभिन्न प्रदर्शनीहरू हरेक वर्ष हुन्छ. We are trying to take it to different cities to showcase Nepalese products and services. तर मेरो विनम्र अनुरोध के हो भने हामी आफै एउटा जागरुक हौँ. Let's be aware. Let's promote Nepalese products and services, because हामी आफै being the largest consumers, if we do not start consuming Nepalese products and services, the industry cannot grow. There will be not enough volume. If there's no scale, we cannot improve on our products. R&D ma invest गर्न सक्दैनौँ. But if we start consuming as Nepalese products and services, it will grow. And in the long run, the country will grow and prosper. I'm a big fan of Marvel DC. Any Marvel DC fans? Oh, not that many. Otherwise, they would have made 2-3 billion instead of 1 billion from Endgame. Okay, so I think a lot of people know I'm a Marvel and DC fan, but what people may not know is I'm a big horror movie buff. Any horror movie, I don't miss it, I go watch. I take him sometimes, and at one point, I think in Delhi, just two of us were watching a movie, midnight movie, horror movie, and we were quite terrified. The hall was empty. But anyway, coming back to the horror movie, I'd like to tell you a story. This is a true life story. You know Chaubarko Bato थाहा छ है तपाईलाई? Yeah, Chaubarko Bato. अनि राति के कथा सुनेको छ चौबारको बाटो? राति त्यहाँ जाँदा के हुन्छ थाहा छ चौबारको बाटो? Because सेतो लुगा लगाएको राम्री केटी एकजना देखिन्छ नि, खुट्टा यसो भएको चुटे. सुन्नु भएको छ है तपाईले? I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that. So एक दिन मेरो साथी 3-4 वर्ष अगाडि फर्किरहेको थियो तपाईँहरूबाट, काठमाडौँ फर्किरहेको थियो. ढिलो भइसकेको थियो. यहाँ हात्तीबनबाट तल आएर फर्किरहेको थियो. 12 बजिसकेको थियो. अनि बाटोबाट मोटरसाइकलमा आइरहेको थियो. यसो हेरेर राम्री केटी एकजना सेतो लुगा लगाएर, म चाहिँ राम्री केटी एकजना बाटोको साइडमा रोक्यो उसलाई. यसो हेऱ्यो है, कस्तो राम्रो केटी, लिफ्ट त दिनै पर्यो. बिचरा अब he's a gentleman, middle of the night, the girl, you know, he's a true gentleman. So he stopped the bike and he gave the girl a lift. अब राम्री केटी पछाडि बसेको छ, मोटरसाइकल चलाउँदै गयो. यसो मिरर चाहिँ एडजस्ट गरेर मुख हेर्नु परिहाल्यो. केटाहरू बोइज विल बी बोइज, यु नो. सो यसो मुख हेर्नु खोजेछ. अनि यसो मुख हेर्यो. उसले के देख्यो थाहा छ? मुखै छैन, सेतै. सातो उड्यो. बिस्तारै बाइक स्लो गर्यो उसले. अनि बिस्तारै तल खुट्टा हेऱ्यो. खुट्टा हेर्छ, खुट्टै उल्टो छ. त्यो त मर्नै लागिसक्यो. त्यो झ्याप्प बाइक रोक्यो. बाइक रोकेर बाइकबाट उफ्रेर भाग्यो. अनि उसलाई कसो कसो लाग्यो. एकछिन हेरौँ त के भयो भनेर हेऱ्यो. के देख्यो थाहा छ उसले? बिचरा गाउँको केटी रहेछ, मोटरसाइकलमा बस्नै आउँदैन रहेछ. बस भन्यो, केटी चाहिँ उल्टो गरेर बस्दैछ. अब मिररमा हेर्दा पनि पछाडिबाट हेर्दा टाउको खुट्टा पनि उल्टा. So the lesson of the story is blind belief. Without, you know, there's a lot of blind faith, you know, without any facts and figures, hear and say, blind belief, a lot of people jump into conclusions. It's exactly the same in business. Oh, यत्रो स्टील कम्पनी खोलेको छ उद्योगहरु, म पनि एउटा स्टील कम्पनी खोलौँ. सिमेन्ट फ्याक्ट्री, यत्रो सिमेन्ट फ्याक्ट्री छ, अर्को एउटा सिमेन्ट फ्याक्ट्री हो. Go along with the crowd. It's a blind belief. You know, something that preconceived notion, thinking that, oh, this is it. Like this story, it's a preconceived notion. You know, you thought, oh, it's a story, so that's a bhutai over. When the facts and figures will give you a completely different dimension, a different reality. So when you get into business, do your due diligence. Get your facts and figures correct. Do a market feasibility report. Don't just jump in the wind just because everyone is doing it. अहिले स्थिति के छ? यत्रो स्टिल उद्योग खोलेको छ, मार्केट सीमित छ, खोलेको उद्योग पनि बन्द भइरहेको छ, सिमेन्ट उद्योगहरू खोल्दै गएको छ, तर कन्स्ट्रक्सनमा there's so much demand in the market, there's overproduction. Then what happens? Similarly, when you start up a business, always do a market study. You have an idea, there has to be a gap in the market, there has to be a need for that product or service to हुनु पर्यो. त्यो निडै छैन भने तपाई जतिसुकै मेहनत गर्नुस्, जतिसुकै तपाईले चाहिँ एफर्ट लाउनुस्, it will not work. It's not a sustainable model. You will not make profits. It will not a sustainable model भएपछि तपाईको वाइन्ड डाउन नै गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. So त्यो भएको हुनाले अध्ययन गर्न अत्यन्तै जरुरी छ. Do a market gap, need-based analysis, do a small survey, make a business feasibility report and see whether there is a need for that product or service in the market. Once you identify there is a need, then also what is the future? How are you going to sustain that business? What is the growth going to be? 10 years down the line, where do you want to be? We are not just thinking, I am a firm believer of overnight success. It's just that overnight success takes you around 10 to 15 years. So, a long-term plan is also necessary along with the facts and figures. Do your calculations, because you're going to put in so much of your time and effort and resources, it's not even funny. You want to be right. You want to be calculated, you want to be right, you need to be where the trend of the market is going, not just now, 10 years down the line, and whether it's worth investing in that. If not, change your idea. You don't have to be stuck to a certain idea. There can be many other ideas. There are so many gaps in the market that you have to do your study. If there is a river and you need to cross over, what do? You start learning to swim. Or if you're an engineer, you build a bridge. But the first thing is that take a dipstick and see what is the depth of the river. What if it's just knee deep? You can walk across it, right? Your objective is to get across the river. You don't need to swim. You don't need to build a bridge. So have a dipstick. Assess the market. What are the needs? Identify it. Do your study. Don't follow the crowd. So once you do that, and then you work towards it. Because in Nepal, mediocrity is acceptable. But that is not a standard you should follow. Mediocrity is not acceptable. You need to over-deliver. Over-deliver to the customer, exceed the expectation. Then you'll rule the market. But find a way to do that, but do your homework and then reach them. So I think market analysis, have a dipstick measure, study your market and then move forward. Talking about the future, we've been talking, I think a lot of people are talking about digital marketing. You talk about the fourth industrial revolution. You have the first three industrial revolutions. You had the steam engine, electricity, computer, three industrial revolutions came. But all these three industrial revolutions that came about took 100 years. The steam engine went for 100 years, electricity 100 years, computers 100 years. And now the fourth industrial revolution, we're talking about the digital economy. Within a span of 20 years, it's almost a $3 trillion economy or more. I forget the figures anyway. In a span of 20 years, that's how things are moving forward. And in any industry or any sector that you want to invest in, there has to be something called enablers. You have to have a good enabling environment. Are we doing well in industries in Nepal? Not particularly. We could be manufacturing for Southeast Asia, but we can't, because we can't compete quantitatively with China and India. Just not possible volume-wise. Qualitatively, we may be able to in certain sectors, but China. But industry, kina hamro chahi jati growth hunu parne ho. Industrial contribution to GDP has come down from 7-8% to almost 4%. Industry GDP contribution is going down. Industries are dying in Nepal. Why? Because enablers are not there. Enablers भने तपाईं industry खोल्ने भए तपाईं इन्डियामा जानुस्, सिक्किममा जानुस्. They're promoting it in such a way that industry is there, or Arunachalma जानुस्. Government will say, please come set up the industry. The land is free for you. The land is already plotted. The road is reaching there. पानी पुगिसकेको छ, बिजुली पुगिसकेको छ. अब नेपालमा उद्योग गर्नु पर्यो भने जब आफै किन्नु पर्यो. Then there was a problem of tenant landlordism. We have a lot of cases. आफै बाटो पुर्याउनु पर्यो, बिजुली पुर्याउनु पर्यो, पानी पुर्याउनु पर्यो. On top of that, in other countries you get a lot of benefits, incentives, tax holidays. नेपालमा दिँदैन. होला. केही नियम कानुन पोलिसीमा होला तर नेपालमा नियम कानुनहरु धेरै छन् तर कार्यान्वयन हुँदैन हैन त्यो अलगै कुरा भयो. Paper to practice is a problem. So त्यो enablers नभएको हुनाले विभिन्न सेक्टरमा प्रब्लम छ. But talk about digital economy. We're talking about digital economy now. If you have a look at the facts and figures, internet penetration is at 44% in Nepal, one of the highest in the region. India ma 37% मात्रै छ. त्यसै गरिकन mobile penetration is above 110%. Again, highest in the region. So with that, the enablers are in place. र हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ एउटा सिप भएको जनशक्ति भन्छौँ नि हामी स्किल म्यान पावर नेपालमा प्रशस्त छ. So there's tremendous opportunity. And digital economy is such that there are no physical boundaries. If you can make a world-class app or provide a service on IT, e-commerce platforms, you could sell it all across the world. There's no geographical boundaries. So that is a huge potential. That is the future. That is where even now as Jyoti Group we are investing in. We have a whole wing for digital media marketing, for e-commerce, logistics, consultancy, providing education from Facebook marketing to SEO search engines. So we are providing those services because we see a future. Why? Because you see a lot of legacy businesses, a lot of family businesses in Nepal. We ourselves, Jyoti Group, is now almost 54 years old. So it took us 5.5 decades to reach from year to year. That is a long time. Working cycle area, almost 2 generations. Actually, we are the 3rd generation now. But now, with the advent of digital economy, digitization, e-commerce, you don't need to wait 5 decades. You can have 3x, 5x growth and turn around. The size of the volume of the business can grow within a period of 4 to 5 years to 10 years. You can really turn around the company. See a lot of these companies that they talk about. Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, Viber, Candy Crush, a lot of the apps, whether in India you talk about a lot of the food delivery apps, they've really taken a growth which is 4-5x with a very short span of time. There's a friend of mine living in near a place. He had to move his flat to Gurgaon. So he took a week off from office because in his flat he had bed, car, sofa, TV, dunya saman was there, saman. So he shifted all the stuff. He called the transporter. Paid the transporter like 30,000 because I think near place to Gurgaon is around 30 kilometers. Shifted all the stuff. So he lost 1 week off office and finally he shifted everything. Then after a month he was in a party and he met his friend who was a successful IT entrepreneur. And he was telling us, "I धेरै दुःख खाना मैले एक हप्ता सर्नु पर्यो, एक हप्ता छुट्टी पनि लिए, सर्नु पर्यो, 30,000 जति मेरो खर्च भयो." Then his friend told him, "Why didn't you tell me? I shifted my flat 6 months back, but I made two accounts in Gmail. From one account, I put all my furniture on sale on Quicker. From the second account, I bought it. I used Paytm, and in the transaction, I bought from one, sold from one, bought from one. I got a 2,000 rebate from Paytm. So this happened in a period of 2-3 days, and I made 3,000 rupees profit. So that's digital economy. One, use technology, which this generation, we call the millennials, are blessed with. Secondly, have a mentor or a business coach. Extremely important. We always overlook that. We think we know everything. We're trying to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's already there, you just need to improve it. People have been there, done that. You always say, oh, learn from your failures. I don't believe in that. Don't learn from your failures. Learn from the failures of others. Why do you want to fail? So many things have already been tried and tested. So whenever you pick a business, you want to start up a business, talk to people who are veterans, who are retired people, who are knowledgeable people. Get them as a coach, business coach or a mentor, and they will guide you. And when they guide you, your chances of success increase by 50 to 60% because they already have been through a lot of the problems and challenges, and they will guide you and say, "You hunda, yeso huncha, yo nagarnu, yo challenges auncha," and you overcome. So I think a mentorship is a concept which we still need to really work on. And the moment we have coaches and business mentors, your chances of success of your business is phenomenal. That's something that we don't always think of. You always want to do everything, run around, do everything yourself. So if you have a mentor, your chances of success go up almost by 50 to 60%. So how many of you all here in the audience want free food in the best restaurants, movie tickets, QFX, 365 days a year? No one? All I say, free food, free tickets, 365 days, free. Only 2 people. You guys don't want free food and free tickets? There are 405 radio stations in Nepal. 405 radio stations. And we have 365 days a year. So every day, 1.5 stations or 1 station will be having a quiz contest. And they ask 5 difficult questions. I was listening to one yesterday also. A lot of people were giving wrong answers. So, every day, तपाईले आँट्नु भयो, तपाईले म गर्छु, मलाई 365 दिन फ्री खाना, हरेक दिन राम्रो रेस्टुरेन्टमा मुभी टिकट पनि हेर्छु भन्यो भने के गर्नु पर्दैन त भाइ? फोन लिनुस्, हरेक दिन क्विज टाइममा डायल गर्नुस्, गुगल गर्दै आन्सर गर्नुस् न, कुनै सक्यो त? सक्दैन? पाउँदैन तपाईले फ्री फुड र फ्री टिकट? ग्यारेन्टीड पाउँछ तपाईले. It's just an example, but this is true. You can try. Sorry, right? Kantipur FM and all the friends. Who's checking on the radio? We'll have a little bit of disturbance. Put it across. So I think whatever you want in life, if you want it bad enough, it's there for the taking. You just have to grab that opportunity and figure out a way what you want. अब नेपालमा सम्भावना छैन भन्छ हैन. नेपालमा किन सम्भावना छैन? नेपालमा जति सम्भावना भएको देश कोही पनि छैन भन्छ. तपाईको अमेरिकामा काम गर्ने, जापानमा काम गर्ने, जर्मनीमा काम गर्ने, यति गाह्रो छ काम गर्न. If you want to make your mark there, do something different. Extremely difficult. Everything is so systematically, everything runs perfectly. If you want to make a name there, you have to have an extremely innovative product. You have to do something extremely different to make it there. But in Nepal, even in the private sector, we are so inefficient. We have no systems in place. Things, I don't know. We are thriving in chaos. So if you just make slight improvements, become a little bit more efficient in any sector that you want, sector you can be better than your competitors. You can be the best in the market. Nepalमा सम्भावना छैन भन्छ, सानो देश भन्छ, 29 million people. I told you, it's the third fastest growing economy in the world. नेपालमा सम्भावना छैन भन्छ, युवाको संख्या हाम्रो 50% भन्दा बढी छ. Japan, Germany, they don't have young people. The old age population, retirement age, everyone is living longer and longer. They have to import young people to work for them. And Nepalमा सम्भावना छैन भन्छ. कहाँ सम्भावना छैन? Power. So China भन्छ नेपालमा. We have white coal, hydropower, renewable source of energy. We have sun almost 8 to 10 hours a day. You can use solar power, wind power, agriculture. Within a small strip, 150 kilometers from north to south, we have 5 eco zones. You can grow almost anything that you want. High value agriculture, medicinal plants. Tremendous opportunity. Don't go into subsistence agriculture. Get into high value agriculture. Export going to something. Service sector, tourism. We are extremely hospitable people. Very good in service. IT is another potential I talked to you about, digital economy. Tremendous potential there. Infrastructure, we don't have enough infrastructure. We can do PPPs with the government. Get into public-private partnership. We can build airports, roads, bridges. So much potential in Nepal. So I feel there's so much potential in Nepal, and you can do so much. You should focus your energy and resources in your own country. यहाँ market saturate because whatever said and done, we have limited resources. So we should work towards developing our own country first. And यहाँ market saturation basically, or once we have enough experience and we excel at a certain thing in our market, then we can go global. So प्रशस्त सम्भावना. So I think 5 things I want to summarize what I've talked to you about is one is about the importance of soft skills. The 5 key aspects, one being soft skills is extremely important. Work on honing your soft skills. Second is entrepreneurship. Work at becoming job creators rather than job seekers. Work towards inclusive growth. Third, focus on products and services that are made in Nepal. That is a very important aspect of growth of any companies in Nepal. Fourth is, whenever you get into any business, always study the market first. Use the dipstick, do a survey, do your homework, then get into business. Don't blindly get into any business. Also, the future is now slowly moving towards digital. I've given you a lot of examples. Use digital technology that you have to your advantage. Knowledge is in your pocket right now. You don't need to go anywhere. Use digital technology. Make advantage of the digital economy, and you will excel. And fifth, of course, as I said, there are tremendous opportunities in Nepal. No matter which field, which sector, you can always have a big market in Nepal itself. And Nepal is not a small country. It's a big country. It's one of the fastest growing countries. A lot of opportunity. So I think with these 5 aspects, if you focus, I think you can really make a difference and have a very bright future. So I think you have a goal. The only thing is that every day you need to work consistently towards achieving those goals. Every day, without fail, consistently. And as you work each day, you will definitely achieve what you set out to achieve your dreams, your visions. So all of you all are like painters. You all have a blank canvas in front of you. You all can paint whatever you all want on it. My only
suggestion to you is, please make them all masterpieces.